Morning, y'all. This is Jared Boyle here with Timeless Fence along with Mike McElroy. One of the questions we get most often is, how do you get these T-posts in the ground?
Installing Timeless Fence System rigid PVC posts anywhere. From soft soils to rocky terrain, the Timeless Fence System is built to install just about anywhere. But which method works best for you? In this video, we'll walk you through the top techniques to get your rigid PVC posts set fast, easy, and built to last.
So we've got a few different ways of doing that, and Mike's going to explain a few of them right here.
I think Jared, just a few minutes ago, had mentioned about that probably 90% of the time, roughly, all it takes would be maybe a 4-pound hammer or a manual post driver like Jared has in his hand right here. That would be in soil conditions like a sandy soil or silt loam or something that doesn't have much rock in it. The problem we get into is when we get into rocky ground, cobble ground, shale, things like that, and just a hammer or a T-post driver is just not sufficient enough. So we have to resort to actually drilling a pilot hole. In a lot of cases, just a cordless drill is about the easiest thing to do. You want to select a bit that is 1/4 inch in diameter, smaller than the size of the T-post that you're going to be driving in the ground. We have an 1 3/4 post right here. And so we would use a 1.5 inch bit. One of the bits that we sell at Timeless is this wood auger bit, and it works really well in hard clay ground, shale. What else did you remember?
So, kind of broken rock, and so, I mean, it wouldn't work out great in an instance where you got like big hard rock that you're going into, but some, like you said, some shale or some broken up rock or hard clay, it would work out pretty well.
So it's pretty easy. I mean, this is 18 inches long, and in most cases you would go ahead and drill, if you can, to 18 inches. Typically you might have just a layer rock that you're trying to get through, and it may be 8, 10, or 12 inches deep, and then you can stop and drive your post in the ground. But one of the easiest ways when you're drilling with a wood auger bit, or even, and this is what I call a bulb auger bit, so you could bury or dig holes for bulbs around the landscaping around your house. But both of these, what I have found out to be easiest to do in drilling a hole is work it in an up and down motion. So you're not just taking this drill and pushing it straight in the ground. You're kind of going up and down, and that helps clean the hole out at the same time. And then we get into more serious rock, harder rock. And I'll let you talk about this right here.
So yeah, in cases of more like serious rock or larger rocks, and you don't have the freedom to move the T-post anywhere, because sometimes you can just move the T-post a little bit left or right down the line just to get it in where you need to. But if that's not an option for you, and you need to get it in a certain spot and there's a rock there, taking a rotary hammer drill like you see pictured over here, along with a bit meant for concrete. And again, in this case, Mike mentioned previously a 1/4 inch smaller. Now, if you're going into a rock, you may need a bit closer to the profile of the post, maybe even slightly larger, depending on the rock. But yeah, you'll want a concrete bit and a rotary hammer drill to punch that pilot hole in the ground to get your post in the ground.
I know of one instance with a customer that I had. They were drilling into solid limestone rock, and even the exact same size bit as the post still would not go in. So they had to go slightly larger than that And this is a pretty serious job when you get in a situation like this. This is the one that you hope you don't have to, but there are going to be folks out there that's going to be in a situation like this. They drilled it slightly larger than they took concrete or cement and filled the hole in once they put the post in the ground and then filled it with cement, and it worked great. It's just a little bit more effort that you got to take to do that. Okay. Jared, talk about just for a minute on the sizing the generator with our hammer drill and what's really important to be sure that you're aware of.
So yeah, when you're using a hammer drill method, you know, to get the power that you need, it's most likely going to be a plug-in AC drill. So you're going to need a generator to go along with it. Now you want to make sure you match the generator to the amount of power that your drill is pulling. In this case, this is a 15 amp drill. This is a 1500 starting watt or 1200 running watt generator. So a lot of generators will have identified on it how many amps that you can run. If they don't, you can use the math equation. Watts is volts times amps. So in this case, a 1500 watt generator, you'd only be able to power at 120 volts. You'd only be able to power, what is that, around 12 amps, something like that.
Yeah, and this one here has actually 10 amps written on the, so that's yeah, what you would go by in this situation here, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 1200 running watts, so divide 1200 by 120 volts to get you the 10 amps.
There you go,
so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you want to make sure that you're powered correctly, and that will change depending on your elevation and things of that nature. But yeah, just make sure you got enough generator for the amount of power, because these are good sized drills that are pulling plenty of power. So
yeah, we have a 20 amp generator at Timeless, and I have used it. Set it in the back of a small trailer, hooked it up to a 4-wheeler, and use this hammer drill right here and just drive right down the fence line, drilling the holes. It was through shale ground, which and it was a very seriously eroded ground, and so I was in solid shale from the very beginning. And but it went right through it. Each hole took me about 15 seconds to drill, so it's doable. It's not that hard.
And you made a good point earlier that you may not have to drill all the whole distance for the hole. You may only have to just go through a chunk of a shale or a rock or something like that, and then you can drive put that away and drive it in the ground with your hammer or your post pounder. So.
You know, if anybody has any questions, feel free to give us a call at Timeless Fence. Our number is 800-788-4709.